Hello YouTube. I just finished recently, actually yesterday, a video on shading from dark to light, and one of the comments was asking me what paper did I use and what is my favorite paper. Well, the first question I can answer right away, this is
paper,
Paper, papir,
T,
papir,
carta, kaغذ,
hırtiye,
giấy, bumagă, kağıt,
tuğra,
papier, 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 hati, hani, papir, paper.
sketch. You can see right there it says Universal Sketch. And it's kind of slightly off-white paper. It's not a bright white, slightly off-white. And this paper here, I use it for some quick demos and stuff like that, but it's not my favorite paper for drawing serious art. It's a sketch pad. That's all it is a sketch pad, nothing more. And, I practice on here, goof off. And that's why I used it for the demo, because it just happened to be laying around. Now, over here, this is the station that I have set up for my art. The art that I do is all done right here, and it's just a hobby for me. I don't get paid to draw. And here's when I was doing the video on the ears, and this is the recent one I did on the nose. And I'm going to move that to the side. I need to make a little room here because I'm going to show you some of the paper that I have. And because I really don't know what I would call my favorite. I mean, I like all kinds of different papers, but I could tell you that that sketch pad I just showed you from Canson, the Universal Sketch, is definitely not my favorite paper to use for drawing. So let me just bring out some of this here. Here's this one here is Strathmore drawing. You can see 24 sheets. It's right there, the 400 series. And this is a nice paper to draw on. I like to draw on this, and I've done a few portraits on this paper. It's a good paper, but it is mildly off-white as well. And this is just the same paper, but it's bigger. So it's just different dimensions, a little larger. I have this paper here from Blick, and it's also a drawing paper. It's an 80 pound. You can see here, it has 30 sheets. And it's also slightly off-white. And a lot of people like the off-white. It's kind of like there's a mild tan to it or beige to it. I personally don't like that. And the reason for that is because I like sharp whites and sharp blacks for contrast, and you can't really get that as much if the paper itself isn't sharp white. I have this old pad here. It's a watercolor, Strathmore Watercolor. It's the 300 series. It comes with 12 sheets. Now with this paper here, and I'm holding my camera here with one hand. It's kind of hard to do that and show things at the same time. But it's also slightly off-white. It's a very heavy board or paper. As a matter of fact, it's listed here as, let's see, it says it's Series 300 better. There it is. It's 300 grams. It says 140 pounds there. Right there you can see it. So that's a thick paper, 140 pounds. But I happen to like that. And I should mention with the watercolor, one side of the watercolor is, it's got a really rough pattern to it. And I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Probably not. Well, right there. You see how rough that pattern is right there? See, I don't like to draw on that. But instead, you turn it over to the back. And the back, you can see it has a pattern as well, but it is smoother. And because it's smoother, that's the side I will draw. So I won't draw on this side. I will always draw on the back. Okay, and I should note it's not a good idea to put your fingers all over your paper. It will show up. But if I just won't use that paper I just touched. Now here I have this small pad I bought at Walmart. I'm a real sucker for picking up papers and pencils and stuff whenever I go to the store for other things. And this one here is called Mixed Media. And I really haven't done a lot on here as far as, you know, I'm just kind of goofing off. But it's a nice paper, and what I like about it is it's a little whiter than those other ones I showed you. There's much more brightness to the paper, and I do like the texture is not too rough and it's not too smooth. If you get paper that's too smooth, then it gets to be a little difficult for the graphite to get off the pencil and onto the paper. So you don't want something that's too smooth. Now I happen to have another blick here. It's the same paper as I already showed. I just happen to have more than one pad because I just bought it in quantity apparently. Now a paper I really like, so this is one of my favorites, and believe it or not, it's a recycled paper. It's called XL Recycle. It's a Bristol and it's made from Canson. It says that it's from the XL series, acid free. And this one here comes with 25 sheets and it's 96 pounds or 260 grams. This is a white paper. I like this because it's a whiter paper than the others that I showed you that have a mild tan to it or mild beige. This is white. That means I can do a higher contrast drawings, which I happen to prefer doing. And because it's a Bristol, one side I could feel is going to be smoother than the other side, and I like the smoother side. And apparently in this case here, the smoother side is actually in the front. So I could just draw what I like right in the very front of these sheets, and I've used quite a few of these, so I don't have very many left. And I like this paper. This is one of my favorites. Okay, and it's just interesting that it just happens to be recycled paper. And then again, here's a Strathmore drawing, and I think I already went through a series 400 drawing paper here, and I did. So I just happen to have more than one of that. But again, it's not a white paper. And you know, let me see if I can put the two together here, and if you can see the difference. I'm going to okay, you want to lay one on top of the other, and you should see instantly. Notice that. Notice this is darker than this paper. It has a kind of a tan to it, where this is really bright white. I prefer bright white, but it's a matter of preference. So the tan one, or the one that's just slightly off white or a little darker than white, is the drawing one. And not really my favorite. I do like that bright white one. Now I also have these arches, and they're watercolor paper. They're a 140-pound paper. Comes with 12 sheets, and these are 100% cotton. It's very, very, very expensive paper. Very expensive. And the reason I went and bought these was it was recommended. Apparently, Arches and Canson seem to be one and the same company here. But the reason I bought the Arches, it was a recommendation from a website. There's an artist there, a really good artist, and he draws some really great drawings where, you know, you look like you've got a butterfly, you know, lifting off the paper and kind of stuff like that. And he recommends this paper. Now let me go back to that one I said I liked before, real quick, and pull that out, the Bristol one. Go back to that. Now you take this Arches here, and we'll see the color difference with this Arches. Again, if you can see the difference, is that it's also darker and a little on the yellowish side than the recycled paper. So I do like the paper. It's fine. And again, you want to go use the smooth side. Don't use the rough side if you're going to be doing realistic drawings where you don't want the texture of the paper to come out. But like all the other paper that came out kind of an off-white, I don't particularly care for them as much. So, I mean, they're good papers. I have them. I'll use them because I don't want to waste my money. But other than that, here's another one of the Strathmore drawing. It seems like I have 2 or 3 of those. And here's another one that says it's a 400 series as well. Strathmore drawing. But the difference here, I can't see the difference. They're both, this one says best. This one says best. 24 sheets. Oh, this one's recycled drawing paper. It's green. It's got a green cover, whereas this just says drawing paper. So that's the difference between the two. And that's also kind of yellowish. And this one, same thing. So anyway, no need to keep going on as far as all my papers, because I think we did find a winner here for me personally. And that is, it's the Canson XL recycled Bristol paper. We're going to say at this time on this video that happens to be my favorite paper, because it allows me to do higher contrast drawings, and I just happen to like the way drawings look on a really bright white paper, as opposed to, it seems like every other pad I have is not as white. So, well, there you go, YouTube. Hey, I hope you like this video. Sorry it ran about 13 minutes, but I think I've covered my paper pretty good there. I was going to kind of do a little you know, shade on each one or whatever, so you can see the difference, but I don't think it's going to be necessary since that's the one right there. So anyway, hey, please give me a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.